everybody to Late Night ArtBytes. How many of you have been here before? Excellent. Yay. Thanks for coming back. How many of you have been here more than twice? Excellent. Great. Well, Late Night ArtBytes is something we started last October, and it takes place obviously in the Tech Lab, which is a new space in the museum where art and technology are meant to come together in kind of innovative and interesting ways. ArtBytes is actually one of our most successful programs thus far, which is really fantastic. We're always drawing really large crowds from the late nights, pulling in, and we've got great presenters every night, including tonight, and an extra special treat, that's all I'll say. Something very unique in terms of the ArtBytes history, so we're definitely looking forward to that. I wanted to let you know just a little bit about what else happens in this space. You'll notice some of the drawings that are around. If you were here one of the last few months, we did have a contest called Make Space for Artists, Design a Studio. And this was an invitation to the community to design a 16-foot cubic studio space for an artist of any kind. So writers, musicians, dancers, painters, you name it. And we just had the awards presentation earlier this evening. We had 45 entries total, which are all on display, and the top 3 winners are over here on the central wall as well. So take a look after ArtBytes tonight if you'd like to. We also, the second Thursday of every month, we have an open lab program where it's kind of about just introducing people to new technologies, new software, new tools, or new ideas related to art and technology. And it's totally free. Just come in from 6:30 to 8:30, and we have experts on hand to kind of teach different topics. For March, our topic is Web 2.0, so we'll be exploring kind of that in relationship to art museums and those ideas. We also have workshops here, and there are flyers just outside of the Tech Lab, workshops for people of all ages, photography, film, animation, digital photography, you name it in terms of the types of projects that we do here. I'm going to start with a couple of homegrown things actually tonight before I turn it over to Dan Langendorf, our host for this evening. I wanted to let you know that finally the DMA has entered the Facebook era of museums. So if you're on Facebook, go home tonight and look up the DMA page and become a fan. We just launched it earlier today, so we'd love to drum up the interest. And you can always go there, obviously, to hear about all the events taking place, including ArtBytes. We're going to see what kinds of cool and interesting things we can do to get the word out further about ArtBytes. Now I'm going to turn it over to our multimedia producer, Ted Forbes, who is joining us here at ArtBytes, and he's going to share something else that we recently launched called DallasMuseumOfArt.tv. So without further ado, Ted Forbes.
Thank you. My name is Ted Forbes. I'm the multimedia producer, as Nicole said, and what I deal with up here is a wide range of things, and they go from the website to teaching materials to these films that we make, featuring various exhibitions and all kinds of things. So we're under an initiative right now where we're launching 3 major projects in the next couple months. This is the latest that's up now. We've got a redesign of DallasMuseumOfArt.org. We have DallasMuseumOfArt.tv, and the next phase of this is going to be the .mobi, where you'll be able to get content on your iPhone in the galleries. So we do a lot of really fun stuff. But anyway, this is DallasMuseumOfArt.tv that we just launched. And the address is, I guess not so strangely, DallasMuseumOfArt.tv. But anyway, we are basically using this as a clearinghouse to have all of our media. So a lot of this, when we do the website redesign in the next 2 months, you'll probably see some of this dispersed. Like if you're looking to find information about TUT, you'll see the TUT videos there, things like that. But what we wanted to do was create what was kind of a clearinghouse. So what you could do is you could go to one central location and just browse all of our media. And which laptop am I on right now?
The mic right there.
Okay. I saw it up on several. So, but anyway, basically, this is how the site's set up. We kind of keep the latest and greatest thing we've been doing will be on the front page. And recently, we just Neil Shreenan, who's sitting back here, who kind of assists me on these things. We did a series of interviews with Marcy Durgers-Caslon, who is one of our preparators. And you can watch this. I won't bore you with it now. But anyway, she goes through and talks about you know, how did they set up the Eliasson show and what was involved, and you know, how do you do something with working with moss where you've got to order live moss and they deliver it with the truck, and this band was racking into walls at one point and stuff like that. And she talks about what she does as preparator, and it was a lot of fun. So, but anyway, it's kind of behind the scenes kind of things on that. We have interviews with Olafur Eliasson himself. We have a long version of that that has some stuff with he and his assistants. So these films are a big part of what we do. The other thing, also, if you go under films, there's basically 3 categories that we do on here. We do artist films, which are mainly deal with artists that we deal with here at the museum. We have what we call legacy films, which are more the behind-the-scenes things that you'll see that have to do with the Dallas Museum of Art specifically. And then finally, we have our discovery films, which are kind of like little documentaries that we make on everything from Jazz Into the Stars to, we had kind of this public art program, and we did the C3 opening and things like that. So they're kind of not necessarily artist-related, but they are behind-the-scenes offerings that the museum does, and we probably will do one on ArtBytes here very soon too. So yeah, so that'll be fun. Also, you can find on DMA.tv, we have podcasts. I got to quit calling it DMA.tv because that actually won't take you there. That's our coding for here. Right now, Arts and Letters Live, we are going to rebroadcast the various seasons. We run about a year behind, so it doesn't compete with their current season. But Gallery Talk is the next one we're going to be launching, and those won't run behind. Those we're going to try and get those up the day that they're given. Probably not live, but and then we have all of our exhibition materials. So if you want to go look at the teaching materials and various things that we've done in gallery presentations after an exhibit is gone. Things like that. We're going to showcase a lot of this here. And then finally we have, this is kind of a work in progress, but our behind the scenes. Right now it just ties into Flickr, and it's mostly photos, but we're going to extend this out some too. And if you're on Flickr, I'm sure Nicole's announced it here before, feel free to join the Dallas Museum of Art group, post your photos, and yeah, we're going to be, we have done a couple meetups, and they were a lot of fun, and we're about to kind of get going on those again. And we've had, they've been pretty small, which has kind of been cool because basically you just bring your camera, come up here, and then like I think one night we went out and walked around the neighborhood and went up top of the garage and did kind of these urban landscape shots. And then the last one we had the table set up here with a bunch of materials and did kind of some still life things. And so we kind of sometimes will theme them with things. And but anyway, they are a lot of fun. They're very social. You can just come hang out, or you can shoot or learn or whatever you want to do. So we've got big plans with that. So anyway, that's Dallas Museum of Art.tv, and there you go. I say questions, complaints, comments, concerns, suggestions.
Direct them to her, right?
Yeah, direct them all to her. Anything's good, you can tell me or Dan, but no.
Absolutely.
Good stuff goes to us. Yeah. Complaints, Nicole.
Well, I can take complaints, but that, I mean, definitely, this is such a new space. Any ideas that you have for classes, workshops, programs, we'd love to hear it. And I'm always hanging out around here on late nights, so.
Yeah. Well, like I said too, I mean, there's such a behind-the-scenes element to this, like when we have our discovery films and things that go on in the museum that aren't necessarily exhibition based, you know, as far as like they're not an interview with an artist or, you know, how it's set up, but things that go on here, events, things like that. And so, you know, this is kind of a place where we can showcase people who come hang out and are part of this too. So, anyway, that's all.
Good.
Thank you.
As you enter the new media, social network space, right?
It's about time.
One of these days we'll actually have an ArtBytes page. So all the artists that show will get, you'll see their images, links to all their work. We're collecting that, and it'll probably be up there at some point, hopefully soon. Anyway, I wanted to thank everybody for coming out. I get the honor of actually helping to assemble some of the programs. And tonight I'm pretty excited because we've got 3 very good, how can I say, visual artists, right? And they represent 3 different types of art. As you can see, we'll have Lauren's actually going to go first. He's a pre-visualization artist in the movie, television, gaming industry. A little more on that in a second. And I think Mona's maybe going second over here. And we have a special guest, Dana, who will probably be going last. But this was originally conceived as an open mic for artists. And so we have open mics for slam poets and different types of art, singers, you know, different types of performers. But we don't really have one for an actual digital artist. And so we're moving towards that. We're starting to get we've had sound, we've had video, we've had storytelling. We're going to introduce some performance tonight for the first time, some live performance. And one of our hopes down the road is that we can actually have an ArtBytes where the artists are actually creating while they're here, while you're here, and while we are giving them input, and we'll see what comes out of it. But first up, I'm going to a brief introduction for Lauren. He is the busiest man in Hollywood. This guy knows pretty much everybody. Has done stuff, Scanner Darkly, the movie, so he